Happening?
Not too much, you man?
Not a whole lot. You been fishing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good deal. What's going on around there lately as far as what are you guys catching? Still perch?
Yeah, and then walleye opened on Saturday, and then pike opened too.
Good deal. You been running many trips lately, or most of them booked for the summer?
I've got two this week, and then we'll get the calendar. What do I got? I've got so I got a full day on the 7th, and then I got a half day on the 8th. And then on the 12th, I have a half day. And then the 28th, I got a full day. Right.
Good deal. Morning, Steve. What's happening?
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. We got Dave and Nick here, which I think they're a little bit newer to the calls. Not new to the community, but new to the calls.
Okay.
So I don't know
Howdy.
if them. Hey, Dave.
When I turn my video on, I'm just call them from my phone.
Yeah, so it actually is perfect that you were able to make it today. So I got a couple things to pick your brain about that I think these other guys will find beneficial too. But
Okay.
just as a little bit of a backstory here. So I'm kind of trying to get Mackenzie and Steve on the page of doing a giveaway, kind of like how you had just did. So it kind of works out perfect because for context, guys, Dave just did a giveaway with some leads that he has, and it's done pretty well. So yeah, I think you're at like what 39 so far.
Yeah, 39 that I booked at a discounted rate, but yeah, that was part of the giveaway package that I did. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll let it go a little bit organically, but the difference is like I always say it, but people have different like opportunities. Like for you, it was that you were able to collect the leads through like the sport shows because like that's what you did. But like for Mackenzie, it's more like he has a what would you call that, Mackenzie? It's like a like
It's
I know
it's a fundraiser.
yeah,
For
gotcha.
mental health. They're doing like a soccer tournament. I think there's like 7 or 8 teams in it. So
Which
yeah,
I
they
was
have
looking at. I was looking
guess
at that Facebook page. I was checking that out that you sent me. Or I don't know if you sent it to me, but you told me the name and I looked it up.
So yeah, what did you think about doing it through there? Do you think that's last time we talked we kind of
No, I think that I mean it's definitely a good opportunity since you kind of have an in with that. But my biggest question was just uh, like the quality of the leads. Like since the event isn't anything to do with fishing necessarily,
yeah.
it's more so I just question like how the quality of the leads would be since it's just like more of a general open to the public type of event. But I guess as long as like you're able to get entries, I mean they're entering in for a fishing giveaway, so that right there is like qualifying them for the interest. But I also wasn't sure what the volume is. Like when I was looking on the Facebook page, it looked like their posts and stuff is like it's a pretty small group. So like how many people are actually going to be at the event roughly?
Yeah,
You know?
I was gonna ask them because they had events in the past where they had a lot more people show up. I don't know if it's like that size that they're doing it this year, but I have a call with them on Thursday, so
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably if not later today or tomorrow or whatever, I'll kind of draft up like a little bit of a, or did I already send you like an example
yeah,
fly?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you
okay.
did.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like a ballpark of what of how I of how I would like to present it there, just based off like obviously I don't know that event particularly, but like just speaking off like past experience and stuff, that's kind of the format that seems to work.
Sounds good.
But yeah, Steve, what's happening with Fishing Booker? I know that you were saying you were getting a few new bookings rolling in through that.
Yeah, I've got two charters next week, Tuesday and Thursday, a 5 hour and a 6 hour, and I got a inshore fishing tournament on Saturday, and then I have nothing until the 1st of June. I got 6 charters in June and a red snapper tournament on the 20th.
So what's interesting is you had said like because we talked in the past about how far back you are, like so
Yep.
many pages back on Fishing Booker because there's so much competition, and yet like people are still finding you. And you're saying that it's because of your boat, like that's what's drawing them.
The features on the boat, a bathroom, more comfortable ride. I had one guy went on Fishing Booker, and I don't know if this is when I probably booked after you were gone. He went on Fishing Booker, looked me up, and then called me. He goes, I travel a lot. I use Fishing Booker all the time, but I'd rather go direct with the captain than book through Fishing Booker. I said, okay. So we talked a little bit, and I asked him, I said, why? He said, well, I've rode on a lot of different boats. I just want something that's comfortable ride. I've got a 30-foot sea hunt. I got a big coffee box in the front for seating, captain seat and a passenger seat, and then beanbag chairs in the back. So it's a little smoother ride. Got a complete enclosure, and also got a shade sail. I made another video I posted the other day. It's like my boat's 30 foot long. I got shade 25 foot from front to back. So when we're in the Florida sun, you can fish out there and be completely covered with no sun exposure. So makes it a little bit easier, So
Yeah. Do you have pictures of your
yeah,
boat like right on the Fishing
yeah,
Booker page?
yeah.
Because
I do.
okay,
Oh yeah, I posted pictures of in the water, inside, outside, all the amenities just to gather that customer that's looking for something a little bit more than just a ride, So.
yeah,
Let's say it's still pushing me on the 4th or 5th page of Fishing Booker, and you and me talked. I thought, well, maybe increase the percentage, get up on the 1st or 2nd page, and I got a booking that afternoon. I said, no, we're gonna stay right where we're at, So
yeah.
I got
What I
two bookings in July as well already. So
What I'm kind of wondering though is I would just be shocked if people are actually scrolling all the way to the fourth page, finding your business, clicking on it, and then being like, oh yeah, this boat really sets it
right,
apart. Like
right,
that seems too unrealistic to be true. So what I would
right.
say is more likely is I wonder if people are using a filter, like if they're filtering by like boat size or boat
You can
accommodations, like
use
because you can
Fishing
check
Booker,
boxes.
because I went on Fishing Booker and I typed in a certain date and 192 charter guys with a toilet 48. So that thing drops down quite a bit, and then you can kind of
Yeah.
sort through that. I got one on Tuesday next week. The people from Georgia coming down, they booked, and they want to leave like an hour later because they're staying an hour from here where I'm in northern Florida, just driving over to charter with us and then going back to their place they're staying, which I thought that's kind of weird, But
Yeah, that seems like the more I bet that's what's happening is the filtering, but that's good. Just as
yeah,
long as like with that in mind now, just like we had talked about before, like listing out all those accommodations so that
yeah,
when people do go through and like start
yeah,
clicking all the filters,
yeah.
uh, yeah. So good stuff. Nick, are you just listening today, or can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. I was just listening to that too, and that's actually how I've been getting a lot of my trips on Fishing Booker too, is because I have the biggest boat in the area, and people are definitely finding that. I don't know if it's because they're just filtering by their group size or something like that too, but I think I actually appear as the number one or number two option in my area as well. But the next nearest boat to me is like 3 feet smaller, so that definitely does help.
Yeah, because like, are you saying that the same thing is happening as far as like people filtering for accommodations, or is it just the fact that like the footage of the boat? Do you think?
I I know a lot of people are telling me that they're looking for the biggest boat. like that's in the first message, basically first or second message that I'm having with them. They said that we want the biggest, most stable boat in the area, and we saw that you have that boat basically.
Yeah, which is it's a great thing to like leverage like when you can play those cards. Like if you're close to having the biggest boat in the area, like you might as well kind of like lean into that. Uh, which is where like for me it was never like there's plenty of big boats around here, so that was never like unless you're gonna get like a 35-foot tiara or something. Like there's so many Great Lakes boats around here. It's hard to be the guy with the biggest boat. So you have to lean more into like custom accommodations and stuff. Like you just lean into like whatever your advantage is. Seems to be kind of like the biggest thing. Which I'm surprised even over by you that there isn't like tons of big boats. Like are a lot of guys just running like 18-foot aluminums and stuff?
18 to 21 footers generally, I would say, is what most people have. But having a saltwater boat where I am kind of is setting me apart. But if you just go up to like Duluth, then obviously you're going to have all the bigger charter boats out there for salmon and lake trout and whatever. But in the inland lakes, there's just not a lot of people running saltwater boats. Just like four guys that I can think of, I think off the top of my head, that run them, but nobody leverages it. Nobody talks about having the biggest boat in the area. And one thing I did on my Fishing Booker account too is I actually don't charge extra for extra people. It's just a flat rate for me for up to 6 people in my boat. And I actually put that on my image, my title image or whatever, is I put no charges for additional people. And a lot of people have said that they like that there's not like all these hidden fees behind it too. So I think that was also another
Okay.
thing kind of set me apart on Fishing Booker.
It's good. It's a good idea. Yeah.
That is good. Yeah, Nick, where are you out of?
Brainerd, Minnesota.
Oh, okay, cool. Walleye fishing trips mostly.
Walleye, muskies, and smallmouth are probably the
Oh,
three
okay.
main ones that I do.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm out of
molasses,
Port
like,
Washington, Wisconsin, on Lake Michigan.
okay. Are you all on the Great Lakes for the most part,
I'm on the St.
I'm in
Lawrence.
Florida.
Lawrence?
I used to fish the Great Lakes a lot, but I've been in Florida 20 plus years. So
Okay. I went down to Florida last year and guided down there for about a month, and it was a good time. It was a lot different than up here, though.
yeah, oh yeah. Which you guys catch perch up there. We use that for bait down here.
Oh yeah. Well, even something the size of a perch down there seems like it pulls harder than anything up here.
Yeah.
Did you say you went down there and guided for a month?
I did. Yep.
That's
Uh,
interesting. How did that work? Did you like you actually like brought your boat down there?
Yep. Brought my boat down there, and I actually was with. There was a couple other guides that I was staying with, and that had experience down there. So then we just were working together, and figured I'd try it out to see if it was something I was interested in doing kind of in the off season. I was telling you in our phone call before that I have that weird kind of couple month zone where there's really nothing going on. So that was something that I thought maybe I could fill my calendar with and go do something a little different, kind of have a working vacation down there. But it's a lot of work down there, that's for sure. Or a lot of work for me to haul my whole operation down there, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah, well, that was the reason I asked because I wasn't sure. Like some people I've heard of, like they said like they go down to Florida to guide, but they like go down there to like guide for like another company, like working on like their boats and stuff like that, which keeps it a lot more simple, I guess, instead of hauling your whole rig down there and everything. But the good part about having it all your own is like then you're building up your own clientele and stuff instead of building up someone else's clientele. But
Right.
Yeah, I'd actually like to do that sometime in the future. It's going to be a few years, but I like that idea of going down
Well, I'm sure
south for a couple months.
you all probably have customers that go to Florida or in the South for the wintertime. So
Yeah, yep, some of them do.
The thing that I always think of with that, or like anytime I hear somebody doing it, I'm like, man, it would just be really hard to, uh, like I'll just give an example, like how, like Steve, you're down there all year, like that's where you fish out of is Florida. Like, how is somebody that just comes down there for 2 months a year supposed to compete with you in terms of? I'm not saying in business perspective,
No,
but
no,
like,
but
how
you
are
know,
they going to be as good of a fisherman as you because you're there all year? It
right. I
just
don't know,
is.
but Nick did fairly well for a month. It's hard. How do you show up in a spot and get the customers and then know where to go? Yeah, you're right. That's a challenge. Like me coming up your way to go fishing. It's like I'm blind. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
I
I know
only
a
could do
guy.
it because I had the help, I guess,
yeah,
like of the people that have been down there with the experience, and I was able to kind of get a running start at it, I guess.
okay.
Okay.
I know a guy. He's been doing muskie trips in Pennsylvania forever, and then he people started wanting to catch muskie or catch tarpon, like how they catch muskie, casting for them and that. So that's pretty much all he does. Is he runs grouper trips too down there, but
Hmm.
he does like casting for tarpon, and he gets a lot of guys that like to muskie fish that want to go down in the winter to catch tarpon, like you're fishing for muskies. So
That's what we were, or that's what I was doing down there, is kind of the tarpon
that's
and
what you were doing.
grouper stuff.
Okay,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, and it's pretty much just like musky fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only bigger.
A lot bigger, a lot more fun, definitely. But yeah, it's the skills were pretty similar, so it wasn't that hard of a learning curve to go do that.
For a lot of guys that come from up north too, like unless you go to a super high competition area, I'd imagine it's probably quite a rate increase, like for what you can charge, like in southern Florida versus like in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. Like normally the northern guys' rates are lower than the south, so you almost get like a bit of a pay bump by going down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did make a
Except,
little bit more money.
yeah, except now with $5, $6 a gallon gas eats into it a lot more. But
Especially a
Mhm.
trailer and a boat, $5 gallon gas.
yeah, but
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't affect everybody's business here this summer.
I would foresee a lot of gas surcharges getting added on, like how people did around COVID and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
how it's like, oh, $75 gas surcharge. Like instead of doing a gas surcharge, like that would just annoy me as the customer. Like I would rather people just raise their rates, like, and then you're because who wants to pay a gas surcharge? Just
Right.
bundle it into your rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. That would piss me off as a customer too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Everybody hates the additional charges and additional fees
Yep.
that come with
They-
Yeah.
everything.
Nate, gas is $1 more a gallon in Michigan than it is in Florida, even at the gas station. So Michigan's
Right.
got a
I
higher
believe it.
tax rate. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got all the different road taxes and everything
Oh
like
yeah.
that. But yet, when like last month when I drove down to Florida and was driving back, the roads are all nice through Tennessee, Georgia. They're nice roads, and then Michigan has some of the highest tax for the roads. And then as soon as you cross the state line, it's just like you're off-road Baja and hitting potholes and everything. It's like ridiculous. But yeah. So Steve, where did we leave off on those people? Did you ended up reaching out to like some of your past
Yeah.
customers and stuff, didn't
I
you?
did, and then I've had a few of them say, "Yeah, I want to," but it's like normally I had past customers. I think 5, 6 people out, kind of friends and past customers, and then yeah, I want to go, but it's been windy here, and then 1 or 2 want to go, but not. They don't have other friends to bring with us, so it's kind of hard for me to take 2 people out. You know,
Yeah, which the reason I ask is because I thought I remembered you saying that like a handful of them wanted to go like for
right?
a certain species in June or something. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Red snapper opens up middle of June, and June and July. We haven't gotten a listing for the season yet. They usually list it by the end of May or end of March, first part of April, or no, usually end of April. They give what the season is, and they haven't announced that yet. So
Because I was gonna say as soon as they announce that, like
yeah,
an option that I kind of thought of that might be beneficial for you is like if so that if when they drop it, say like whatever the dates are,
Right.
you could do like a pre-promo to like that group of people who already basically raised their hand and said like, yeah, I want to
Right.
go, just like whenever
Right.
that opens, and
Yep.
then just be like, hey, like if you like schedule within like this certain window or whatever, like for the next 5 days, I'm
Right.
doing a like an XYZ, like an early summer snapper promo. If you put it down, then you get like this extra bonus, which we had talked about before. Like incentives don't always have to be discounts. It doesn't always mean that you have to drop your price. You can keep your price where it is, and then because which I think that I was telling you, like if you say $100 off or whatever, you're instantly losing $100 off of
Right.
your bottom line. Whereas if you say, hey, this limited time little deal that I'm doing, you get an extra hour for free. Well,
Right.
now all of a sudden by adding time, you're already out on the water. You've already spent the gas money.
Yep.
You're already there. So it's going to be way less. Yeah, sure, it's an hour of your time, but it's still way less of instead of just a lot of people, they think you just have to start ripping costs off and dropping
No.
your price,
No.
but it's just as beneficial to just stack bonuses on
No,
top.
absolutely. You're
So
right. 'Cause your fixed cost is already there. So you're out there 5 hours, 6 hours. It's not costing you a whole lot more. You get gas and bait and ice and stuff. So, yeah.
yeah, and especially with those people, they're already such warm and engaged leads. Like they're probably gonna go anyways, even if you didn't do any sort of deals or
Right.
discounts.
Right.
It's more so, like if it's more so if you're trying to capture and pull some cash up front and get people to make deposits, or
Right.
you can even say like pay in full, like whatever rules you want to make. It's like even just adding an extra hour on the end of the trip, it's like, all right, well, like this is what they would probably think is like, well, I'm gonna go anyways, so I might as well book now instead of waiting
Right.
a couple more weeks
Right.
because like why not get an extra hour for free?
Right.
But yeah, that's the way that I would do it with those group of
Mhm.
people because what is it? You think like a half dozen or so would be interested in that?
Yes. Yeah. And again, remember, some of these guys were fishing together. So if I reached out to each one of them, hoping they would bring a group of guys and get more trips out of it. But so far it hasn't. I mean, say everybody's waiting. Red Snapper usually open June 15th to the end of July. Last year, a governor stepped in. We had started Memorial Weekend, 1st of June, all of July, and then every weekend till after Christmas, which is just, I mean, like it was the largest snapper season ever. So
Yeah, because like when you've got those, which I know I might be repeating myself here, but it's important enough that it's worth stating again, is when you have those groups of people that you bring on like at discounted rates and stuff, like anytime you're doing the customer a favor by giving a discount, giving something extra, you basically we have to be honest up front. Obviously, you can't just tack a bunch of stuff on after. But as long as you're telling them up front, like, hey, the reason that I'm going to give you this discount or this extra bonus or an hour extra or whatever, like you can make your own rules and say like, hey, like I know there's going to be 6 of you, like in order to get this discount, like at the end of the trip, I'm not saying to make something up, but all 6 of you need to give me a Google business profile review, like an honest one or whatever.
yeah,
So then all of a sudden, instead of getting 1 review per trip, if you do that for 5 groups of 6 people, that's like, boom, you just got 30 reviews off of that. So if you're doing someone a favor by giving them discounts or anything, like have them return the favor by doing whatever you need, whether
yeah,
that's reviews or whatever.
yep.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of what else. So kind of circling back to like the giveaway thing a bit. Dave, didn't you run what was your incentive? Like your second place incentive was it was 20% off or 25% off?
So what I did is these were at trade shows, by the way. So they were outdoors sports shows at 3 different locations, and I ran a giveaway where I gave away 1 free trip per show. So it was like 3 different weekends, in 3 different states, in fact. But anyway, so I didn't announce because I wasn't sure how I was going to play it out, and I'm glad Nate reached out to me, right around the first show, I think it was. But anyway, I gave away 1 free trip for each location, and then after talking with Nate, we kind of decided to do is just to offer some kind of a discount to pretty much everybody else that didn't win the trip. Because I had everyone's phone number and email address. For the most part, there was a few people that didn't put a phone number down. But I texted each person that didn't win and just told them, "Hey, congratulations, you won second prize from the blah 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 sports show." And then when I talked to them, I told them your second prize is a $125 discount. So it wasn't a percentage. I just knocked off $125 off of a 5-hour trip. So instead of paying like essentially 600, they'd be, well, it was, instead of paying 575, they're paying 450 if they choose to book. And for the most part, I gave everyone about a week after I talked to them, to decide if they wanted to take me up on it.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well. I don't know exactly how many people I had a conversation with, but it was probably around 100, I guess, maybe just under that, probably just under that. And I got 39 bookings out of it. I might get a few more yet. There were some that said, "Well, I can't tell you in the next week," so then I just gave them just let me know in 2 weeks, and then that's fine. I didn't really care that much, but I tried to, anybody who was kind of on the fence, for the most part, I tried to tell them, well, you got to let me know by, this date. Otherwise, I'm going to offer it to the next person, even though I already did offer it to the next person.
Yep.
So there was amongst the group so at a sports show, a lot of people travel with come with their family or their friends or whatever. So the people that signed up that had the same last name, like might have been a husband and wife or father and son or something, I just offered the family one,
Right.
one discounted trip. But there were some that were traveling together, with friends, and both friends or three friends signed up. So they kind of figured out the little game or whatever. But it didn't seem to matter. It worked out really well. I was very surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. So I definitely appreciative of Nate for that idea, and even more than that, making sure that I actually did it, because I just wasn't sure how to start. Which direction to go with it. So
39 extra bookings is good, though. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, I was very surprised. I was thinking if I could get like 10 or something like that, I would have been very happy with that. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you pay an advertiser to get that many customers just to raise their hand? Now you got them. You got
I know.
money and exposure, and then they're gonna. Because what I do is I take a video of everybody fishing and catching, and I send it to them afterwards with something that they can show their friends. And, hey, wait a minute, this is something might generate some more sales for me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And what's kind of interesting? Sorry, go ahead.
How many bookings were you getting from the shows before doing that?
Only a few. Like you could count them on one hand. Yeah. So the 39 was just from the discount. I think I had I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 from the shows. I didn't book any at the shows. It's kind of hard to book. There's some guys that might book at a show, but for the most part, people call you like the next week or something.
Do you get people tip you at the end of your trip or no?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I just
Most
wondered
trips,
that could increase your tip rate, higher dollar amount later, so.
Yeah, very well could. Yeah.
Some of your money, so.
So speaking of tips, one thing that I noticed, and this was kind of something different that, so normally with the giveaways, I'm kind of an advocate for doing it in the format of a gift card, it was a little bit different with Dave because he was actually booking the trip rather than doing a gift card, which at first I was kind of I guess it doesn't matter. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it actually probably is going to have a nice benefit on the back end, because when people book a trip, I've noticed at least that they tend to tip more traditionally, I guess, like a 15% tip or whatever, because they're actually booking the trip. But what I've noticed is when people do a giveaway and then they do it in the form of a gift card, and then when something about, I don't know what it is, I can't explain it. It must be some sort of psychology in people's head that when they're redeeming a gift card, they don't tip. like a lot of times, like I've got stiffed a ton on people who redeem a gift card. So that would kind of be something to consider, because if you, and it's just such a minute detail. Like if you do the giveaway and then you're promoting direct book a trip versus gift cards, like now if you're talking 39 trips and you get, a 15% tip on 39 trips versus if those were 39 gift cards and you got no tip, like
Right.
that's, thousands of dollars of
Right.
difference. So it's a pretty big deal.
And I think David hit a good. He hit on a pretty good deal there for him. So
Yeah. But
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if you guys do any sports shows, like have a booth at a sports show, or it might be a good idea to consider something like that. Just having the free charter giveaway drew a lot of attention, and it gave me a lot of leads that I otherwise wouldn't have had. I'm sure I would have had some, but not as many, nearly as many as I had.
do you set up at the show? Do you set up anything else, or just talking about your charter fishing?
Just talking about the charter fishing. Yeah.
I didn't know if you had another side piece that you did with outdoor activities or no.
Nope. I just run the charter business. Yep.
yeah. Well,
And you'll probably get like a few
you
people
guys
out
are
of that group too that'll rebook
Yeah.
next year or something.
Yeah.
Or,
Mm-hmm.
so
yeah, that's a big thing too, is, even if half of them become repeat customers in the future at full price or whatever, that's like
Mhm.
obviously another huge benefit. So
Yep.
But yeah, you guys are more than welcome to hang out for a few more minutes and keep talking or whatever you want to do. But I got to get rolling here, so I think I'm able to leave the room without ending the whole call. But Mackenzie, I'll call you later today if you're around, because I know we had some more stuff we need to talk about. So
sounds good, man.
all right, guys.
Yeah, that should be.
All right.
All right, we'll see you.
All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
All right. I'm out of here. I'm going to jump in the boat, do a little fishing.
Yeah, I'm
here.
There you
probably
go.
going fishing too. Have a good one,
I
guys.
wish I was going fishing. Maybe tomorrow. All right, see you guys.
Well, this is the first decent day I've had. I got a nice window today and tomorrow, really calm. Last 2 weeks been windy, and then we got some storms coming in this coming weekend. So I'm
Okay.
going up the pool today. Just
Yeah, we got like 30-mile-an-hour winds here today.
Yeah, that's no fun. That is no fun at all.
Yeah, I got some walleye trips, and I've been fishing perch all weekend, so I better go fish some walleye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, have a good one, guys.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.